Hey there, haunters. Guess what? It is officially September, and guess what that means? Because this year's haunted house is going to be so much better quality and everything than last year, I've gotten the go-ahead to start building. So what does that mean? Well, I've started technically building. Not really. Not anything really structurally yet. In fact, I never planned this haunted house. I legitimately do not have a plan. This is the first year I have ever not made a plan for a haunted house, and it sucks really bad. What I've started doing is actually I just found a random can of spray paint in my bedroom. So it's black spray paint. I'm going along and just kind of like making lines of each room that I'm doing, measuring the 44 inches for passageways and all of this kind of stuff. I'm doing away with one egress hallway. I'll just have the main hallway, the one that's easiest to walk through. So yeah, I'm very confused on what rooms I want. So far I have a noodle room, a curtain room, and the room for the Jack-in-the-Box. That's it. That's legitimately everything I've designed. I'll show you what I've spray painted so far. Okay, so this is literally all I have done. You enter right through here. You go in this room, it's going to be full of pool noodles. And then you're going to go through this way. And there's going to be a curtain here, curtain here, curtain here. And then you're going to turn around and go that way. And I don't know what these other rooms in the whole haunted house are going to be. But right here, this little part is JIB. And what that is Jack in the Box. And it's going to be facing that way into whatever this room ends up being. So, yeah. Prepare yourself, guys. It's coming together. So far I have the first little bit done, and just because the Jack-in-the-Box is so big and bulky, I went ahead and brought it out here in its space. So it's going to be in its a little cubby in a kid's room type scenario. But yep, so I did that. This is all basically done for the first level. And I'm just going to keep building the haunted house like I did last year and then do the second level last. Alright, so this is the first build day officially come to an end. So I'm going to kind of give a quick little run through of what is going on currently with the haunted house. So this area's first level is finished. This first room, you come up here, there's going to be a curtain of some sort. So you push through that. You're going to go into this very first room, which is a noodle room. So I'm going to have like pool noodles hanging. And I'll probably have a row of three, a row of three, row of three, like row, somewhere like that. So this whole room you kind of have to push through some noodles. And then this next room, little hallway, you see where I put all these little dotted lines, I'm going to have some curtains along with like right there. So you have to push through all these curtains, and people are going to be expecting somebody to be behind that curtain and nobody's going to be there. So they're going to walk through here, and then, sorry about that, I'll explain those guys later. Where that circle is going to be a dummy prop. So they're immediately walking in. After this curtain right here, they're immediately going to see this dummy. And they're going to be like, oh my god, that's a person. They're going to jump out and scare me. But what they don't know is it's fake. But the one that's right there in that corner is going to be real. And it's going to chase them into this room. And then that hallway, I mean. So we'll get back to these guys in a second. But we'll go right here. And this whole area hopefully is going to be clothed in where it kind of is hard to see. But you're going to go in this little hallway area. And what that is going to be up here. I'm going to have a laser light shining down. So it's going to be full of laser beams in here moving around. So So whenever they're walking this way, it's going to be full of lasers, hard to see. But at the end of the hallway, there's going to be a dim light on the electric chair, which I'm still confused on whether or not I want it to be a real person or if I want to do what I did last year. So I'm not too sure. It just kind of depends on how many actors I get, but that's definitely going to be there. And then where these X's are, I had a wall right there, but I'm not going to have it. I'm going to have it right there and right here, and then this is going to be another curtain, and then hopefully this side's going to have a curtain that looks pretty similar, so they're not sure which way to go. They're just trying to get out, and they kind of in a way feel trapped because this dummy person's going to be right behind them. This whole room is going to be full of electrical boxes and that sort of stuff, along with wires and all of that fun crap. Once you go in through this curtain, you see where the obvious wall is, and then this line going to right there, that's going to be another doorway. So this whole area is going to be a really big room. I'll actually get you measurements later on, but whenever everything's really getting built, this whole area is going to have a bunch of balloons, balloon animals, all of that sort of stuff in here. Hopefully, I want to try to buy this animatronic that is on Fright Props, and it is a clown that's holding a balloon that kind of rocks back and forth and makes noises. So I'm going to try to have him over somewhere in this room. Don't know exactly where, but somewhere in here. So they kind of have to walk around him. What I might do is like have a catwalk of some sort right there and kind of make them walk around him. Not too sure, but that's going to happen in there. This is kind of where they have to go through. I accidentally drew a line there, so I just put an arrow to show like, hey, this is the doorway. This whole area is going to be a giant room right here. Right here is going to be, right here is going to be a butcher table. There's going to be a guy behind it with an electric chainsaw. So it's going to be a little bit different of a noise than what they're going to be used to. So that's exciting. He'll be kind of like interacting with them, all of that fun stuff. As they walk this way, because obviously they're going to have like this much room, they're going to want to stay as far away as possible. Right here, I'm going to have a tool cart with some tools and stuff that are going to be like hopefully glued down so they can't mess with it, and then maybe some pallets or something stacked up there. So then you're going to go in here, and then there's going to be another room. This guy has a flat tire. Just a second. At least he has his hazard lights on. That's a good thing. Now you may be wondering, like, why was he even driving on a flat tire? There's a gas station up like right there, so he's going. Maybe. Oh yeah, there he goes. Took him a minute to turn. He's going in there to air up his tire. Anyway, back to the story. There's going to be some like pallets leaned up against the wall. This is going to be like an automotive type area. So there's going to be a lot of car parts, that kind of stuff. That's where those guys come in, which I'll get to in just a second. It's going to be like kind of hick area, but like hick clown. So it's going to be a little bit of last year's mixed in with this year. This whole little area, there's going to be a wall here, wall there. I'm going to have a prop built right there with some lights and the car horns, and that's going to be activated by the butcher behind the table. So he's going to flip some switches, and that guy's going to go off and hopefully terrify the guests. I think what I might do is actually stack the tires over here. That way, if they do back up against it, they'll kind of hit some tires and it'll not be as hard of a blow as if they hit some other stuff, you know, like ran into pallets and fell down. So I might do that. I have a bunch of extra tires. So then they're going to go through there. There's going to be a curtain
right here in that whole area. And I might even extend that wall out or put a cage or something of that nature. Alright, so this whole area right here is going to be the kids' room. And it's like a nursery, kind of like last year's, but it's going to be a lot bigger and hopefully more terrifying. So the wall's going to be right here with the sidewalk. So like literally from this line, like that whole area is kids' room. I'm gonna have a toilet over there with a clown sitting on it, hopefully an actor clown, just because there was a haunted house I went to in Vernon a long time ago whenever I was little, and one of the funniest scenes that I saw was a clown just sitting on a toilet, and then as you walk by he looks at you like, what are you doing in my bathroom? And so I think that would be hilarious to have him there with like some pipes and stuff running around. And then like a bunch of dolls and creepy kids stuff, like maybe, I don't know, like little kid toys, the rocking chair, the little kid rocking chair that was in the haunt last year, all of that sort of stuff, along with the Jack in the Box, which I'll get to in a second on how it works. But like you're walking through here, he distracts you, then the Jack in the Box goes off. I think that would just be awesome. Really, really, really terrifying. So let's get to how the Jack in the Box is. I accidentally, like whenever I was moving it, a piece of wood just popped off, so it's chilling over there. But this Jack in the Box is all neon. I completely repainted it. It looks amazing now. Everything glows with black light. So what I'm gonna do is right here where this over the little gap is, where it overlays. I just saw my reflection over there in the window and it terrified me. But anyway, I'm gonna drill a hole through here, somehow have a rope attached to it, and then whenever. Okay, so my phone is overheating, but I'm gonna have this guy stacked up. Obviously, the walls are gonna be taller. Have a 2x4 here. Maybe some braces, cross braces. This rope's gonna go up to that. There's gonna be a pulley on it. So the rope's gonna go through the pulley. It's gonna go all the way across here to another pulley on this wall that's gonna be stacked up. Go through another pulley like that, and then straight down behind the haunted house. So an actor can pull that rope and it's gonna open up this lid. Hopefully that works. And then also with wiring and all of that, I'm gonna have the wires run back there to a light switch. That way they can flip it and like the siren will go off. The lights and such, I'm just gonna leave on inside. So that is very exciting. In fact, what I might do is have a spotlight with a black light just kind of shining from this way to give that effect. So that might be what I do. But then the exit will be like right in this area. The reason why I'm not going and using all of this space is because last year my neighbors asked me that I not do that, because whenever they back out of their house right there, they can't see the street. So since I told them I wasn't doing another haunted house, and I am, I feel like I can just try and be as courteous as possible. So that's the haunted house so far. Hope you guys like it. Let me go over and explain what those things were that were glowing in the other room with the dummy room. Another thing that I want to do in the electric chair room is add more strobe lights, so that way whenever the electric chair goes off, it's like freaking crazy, like out the ass crazy with strobe lights. Not too sure how this is all gonna work out. Not too sure exactly how I'm gonna wire everything up. Not sure about anything. But so far the structure of the haunted house is coming together very well. I'm happy with all the twists and turns, just because it does add a little more stability to the haunted house. Another thing that I'm gonna do is this egress part isn't gonna be used as egress. The only people that are gonna be back here is like for me to pass through or the person who's controlling the jack and I can't even say it, the jack in the box. So those are the only people that are going to be back here. Otherwise, like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to screw in some 2x4s all the way up the wall, so it's kind of holding the two pieces together. But it's also, I'm going to do the L shape out and then a cross brace, and hopefully I can find like some sandbags or something and sandbag it down. That way these walls are even like more stable than what they were last year. I still have the 44-inch egress on the other side, and somewhere I'll plan an emergency exit. But as far as now, like, that's it. So okay, so the place that we got all of these pallets from, which we're actually going back to tomorrow to get more pallets, they just had these mud flaps just chilling there. So now that you've seen them, I'm not going to try to turn the flash back on, but they had these mud flaps just kind of sitting there along with all of their scrap stuff, so I was assuming that they're throwing it away. If they're not, we'll take them back, but whatever. What I'm hoping to do is over here, whenever you're entering in the auto shop part, is have these guys with the metal things like hanging up and the flaps part hanging down, so you kind of have to walk through them, but like not really. It's just that kind of hillbilly effect, like you're walking through some mud flaps. Or what I might do is have them like the old western doors where they're sideways and they kind of flap like that. Not too sure on exactly what I want to do, but those are some really cool ideas.